Hey, everybody, welcome to the Insufferable Bastards podcast. Hello, Shuli.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
The only time anybody watches this podcast is when we talk about Stuttering John.
Hi, this is Stuttering John Melendez from The Howard Stern Show.
It's all Long Island to me.
The second she saw the face, she said, "Oh, yeah, that was him."
Oh, you're the guy that played fake clips of me. Yes, I remember now.
It's a stupid name, but maybe it's worth listening to. How the fuck do I know? I got my own problems. I got hemorrhoids and shit. When I wipe my ass, it looks like a chocolate-covered cherry. All right, good.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Insufferable Bastards podcast. My name is Carlos Danger for the purposes of this broadcast, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Brian Spears. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Making a return appearance, as always, is the third Mike, my brother from another mother, whatever you want to call it, the most popular man in the Dabbleverse, Obnoxious John. Hello, OJ.
Jeez, these intros you give me, I appreciate them, but I don't think they're true. But thank you for having me.
I thought you were talking about me.
I know.
Last and certainly not least, joining us for the second time, I'm sure you all remember him going over multiple years and decades of movies with the great Earl Skakel on this podcast about a year ago. It is the top dog of the Dabbleverse, El Horrible.
Thank you, my fatter, uglier brother.
Right off the bat with the fat jokes. I appreciate that too, El Horrible. Am I going to have to pay you for that?
No, you don't have to.
All right. So I guess the breaking news of this podcast, you'll see on the scroll below, youtube.com at rock bottom. Don't go there. Ray DeVito canceled.
What?
Ray DeVito, 5 minutes before we went live, canceled on us. So I'm done with you, Ray DeVito. I am out of the Ray DeVito business.
Wow.
Good luck with your wine, your infected toe. It's just a hangnail. Delete me from your contacts. But Ray says he has a special announcement. He did say in a El Horrible is Mike 4. He's funnier than all on the screen.
No.
He's my guest.
What
He's my
Carlos
guest,
said.
Icy Uno.
I'm regularly the third mic. That's all he meant. Not today. I'm definitely the fourth for sure.
Thank you, Icy Uno, and I owe you some pictures, and I'll get those to you.
I get what it is. That's a relative of El Horrible is in the chat. But to stay tuned for DeVito's podcast, Rock Bottom Pod, at some point. He says he has a special announcement to make.
What could that be?
Well, after the way he was treated yesterday on his own podcast by Shuli and the gang and the chat over the Shuli network on his Rock Bottom Pod, maybe he's quitting the Shuli network. Maybe he's had enough. Maybe the t-shirt was the one thing that put him over the edge. Thoughts?
I think his t-shirt is awesome, and I almost want to buy one. But, Ray, you need to shit or get off the pot. You can't be in this community and be offended by the word Raytard. It's not even the actual word. Who cares? Accept it. Embrace it. It could be the best selling shirt. I know Melton said something about that.
Yep.
I think it's the biggest thing since Baba Booey. Baba Booey, he hated it, right? And look, everybody knows that. Everybody knows him as Baba Booey. Sorry, Ray. You are a Raytard, and we are the Raytard Nation.
Well, and I want to point out that it came from a guest on his program to describe his fans. Ray wasn't even, he was indirectly connected to it. So it's not like his brand. So I'm not sure what he's worried about. I mean, I get it, but I don't understand why he's so concerned about it. At the same time, I mean, Shuli and everybody just shitting on him for an hour about it yesterday. And even Melton saying, well, all right, if you want me to pull it, I'm going to sell it on my own. They are at this point trolling his corpse. And I don't know, is it still funny? El Horrible, you're the master of that type of humor. Start off calling me fat. What do you think?
I haven't seen all of the Ray bashing from yesterday. I still have to catch up on that. But I mean, Ray brings this on himself. If Ray just never mentioned it and just let it just stay there, and the market will dictate. If no one cares, no one will buy the shirt. But if people find the shirt entertaining and great, people will buy it. Like, who cares? You're the one who's connecting it to that other horrible word that I never use.
And then just going into this world, like you said, and saying, don't buy this shirt. Don't buy. I mean, you're just telling everybody, buy the shirt. Maybe that's Ray's plan. Maybe Ray is a master troll. Maybe he is the dabbler of the week and not Stuttering John, who,
Well,
in my
he did
opinion,
say during that Shuli interview that he's in on the joke, that he often makes those jokes. He's in on the joke. He's not a dummy.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris Mack,
Why is he
Shuli bullied.
fighting it?
Yeah, no, yeah, he's just saying that. Ray's just saying that. It's not what he honestly believes. He's not in on some of these jokes. Chris Mack says Shuli bullied Ray into having Chad on a show yesterday and somehow acted like he was doing him a favor, shaking my head. They're constantly making Ray look like a fool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't that entertained by it, but I'm one person. Maybe I'm clinically depressed, but I thought like the show yesterday, and Chad had no Wi-Fi. I thought it wasn't the usual level of greatness that is Shuli and the BS show and the whole. All right, now I'm gonna get hate mail if I complete the sentence.
But I mean, it wasn't even. It didn't feel like it felt like Shuli's show. That's why it sucked.
And that's every Ray show. All right, enough about Ray. He canceled. Why are we giving him the time of day if he canceled on me?
Chad's Wi-Fi has returned. Update. Breaking update. Chad went live today to stream snipe Kevin Brennan, who went live today.
Oh, I missed all that. I missed
Did you
like
really?
Here's the thing about this particular program. We're going to be talking about things that happened like the day before yesterday, but I missed everything this morning. I missed the BS show. I missed Kevin live. So hopefully nothing important came out of that. If it did, I got a phone call. I'm not gonna know.
No,
but
there
I
was
should
nothing.
I should just say, like, we've got El Harible here. He's a funny man. The rest of us, Obnoxious John is a talented guy. He's funny. Me and Brian, not funny at all. If you're new to this podcast, this is, and I'll say it, it is a pathetic show. It's a bunch of grown men talking seriously about specific comedy podcasts.
Carlos, I gotta say, you never give
corner
enough credit.
of
You actually
YouTube.
are funny.
No, let me finish. God damn it! It's the truth. I don't care. It's not self-deprecating.
Look,
Let me just get it
down.
out.
I didn't know you had it written down.
This is not a comedy podcast. It says so right in my script. It's a commentary podcast episode, right? So deal with it. I appreciate you always trying to step in, but let me shit on myself because it gives me confidence to go on. Second, our topic, like I assume if you're watching this podcast, you've been following all this bullshit that we've been just rambling on about for the last 20 minutes. But if you're not, here's a quick summary of what we're going to talk about today. Stuttering John was scheduled to go on Who Are These Podcasts? You guys may have heard of that. Starring El Harible's best friend, Carl Hamburger. That interview was scheduled, for 6 p.m. on July 26th. But about an hour before the interview was to air live, Stut Joe appeared on Misery Loves Company, hosted by Irish-American comic Kevin Brennan. During that episode, Brennan advised John, I thought, little gently maybe, to renegotiate the terms of his payment from Carl to appear on WATP, and then suggested that maybe he shouldn't go on. To which Stuttering John agreed, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Now that set off a bomb in the Dabbleverse. And I think the anger was perfectly encapsulated by a one Vinny Paulino, who happened to go on B Dabbler's or El Harible's pre-show to this whole thing. So I called this clip Vinny Channels the Anger of the Dabbleverse, because I thought this kind of summed up why everybody suddenly wanted to kill Kevin Brennan. Unjustifiably, I'll say.
Carl was only this pissed off when the Bills lost. I don't even think he was this pissed off.
I've seen Carl this mad before.
You have?
Absolutely.
He has every right to be.
And he was that pissed off when Carl struck his Patreon. Or not when Stuttering John struck his Patreon.
Really?
He was mad. This is the angriest I've seen him since then.
Oh,
and I don't blame him. This is absolute bullshit. I'm sorry for just walking in here. I'm standing here quietly. I want to fucking scream at this old fucking brittle fuck Kevin Brennan for ruining this shit for goddamn no reason.
Exactly. He ruined it for everyone.
Just came in and shat on the coffee table just cuz.
What did I do? What did I do?
You knew what you were doing, Kevin.
But if John was... So that was then. This is now. My argument today, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Brennan does not deserve the hate he has been receiving. Yes, he did say John should bail on WATP. But why is it, El Harible, that Kevin Brennan is getting more flack than Stuttering John, the guy who temporarily bailed and set this all afire. Why are we so mad at Brennan?
Because Stuttering John is a pea brain. We expect John to easily be influenced, and Kevin knew he could do that. I've said it all along. This is buyer's remorse from Kevin. Kevin is a jealous kid. He gets jealous when he sees his contributors contribute to other shows like Chad's. He literally gets visibly upset that people are sending money to other people and not just him. So I think he has buyer's remorse for spending $3,000 on John when you could have waited a week and got him for a 20-pack. And yeah, we expect John to just go on a whim and go, yeah, you're right. Maybe I should ask for more money.
And not to skip around, but Ray DeVito, you're welcome to jump on my show when you rap. I'm going to be dropping some bombs. So thanks, Ray DeVito. Thanks for saving it for your podcast. I appreciate it. But here's the thing, L.R.E. Blake. Isn't this who John is? Like, did we forget what John was on the Howard Stern show? He was the king of stirring the shit. And I'd argue, yes, today's Stuttering John sucks. He's a buffoon. He's bizarre. Let me interrupt myself to read this super chat. I apologize. Cardiff Electric, $6.99. There's a Sodian. If someone throws a rock at you and misses, are they no longer a piece of shit because they are a Piazza and can't throw? FKB. Stop with your mind games, Cardiff. Don't hit me up with a riddle.
That is a good analogy.
But I don't have time to figure it out.
But that's
So you
also
agree with
why
him?
people aren't as mad with John, because John actually proved he is a man of his word and did go on. There was really it didn't seem like, I don't know what happened at the end there, because John said he blocked Carl, but then we saw there was some kind of text message or something, communication. He at least got the link from Carl. Thankfully, he didn't block Carl before Carl sent the link.
I just think, I think a lot of this, Cardiff Electric hates KB, right? He's going in with that. I think I am somewhat able to separate my emotions from the dealings here. I know El Haribla, you and Carl you go back years, you text each other constantly. So I'm not accusing you of bias, but I'm saying maybe you guys, maybe you're a little too invested in this.
Dare
Because
you?
Here was SJ. SJ. Hold on, let me play this one clip. Here was SJ just last week in the Jackie Martling documentary that was released. This is Stuttering John. We forget.
I was the guy that was going to get the stories and bring them up on the air.
John, I think, would hang out with Jackie on the weekend just to get airtime the next day.
I think a lot of the reason some Stern fans get mad at me for leaving is because that, they didn't have that inside guy that would have no fear in busting Jackie, Fred, Gary, even Howard's balls.
And blah, 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 blah. But my point being, you hear Vinny Favali's voice in there for a second saying that John used to just hang out with Jackie so he could get stories for air, so he could just stir the shit. Did we suddenly this week get a pre-stroke, pre-alcoholic, old school Stuttering John, and he trolled us all, perhaps including Kevin Brennan? Is that a possibility?
No.
I'm afraid to go.
Yeah, I don't think that either.
All right, should I move on, or do you want to add to it? What do you mean you don't think it either? I thought you were on my side,
I don't think Stuttering
motherfucker.
John's that smart. I just think, there's no way that happened. He's I think he legitimately asked that question. And I think
I've written communication from you that says otherwise, Mr. Spears. Maybe we'll get to that in a second.
well, no, I think these guys are all pussies. I said that in that I said that, they're all Carl cucks. And I enjoy the shows.
Don't insult Carl. We don't need to be focused.
I am a Carl cuck. I admit it. I'm a Carl.
But I'm not saying that's a bad.
We don't need to be a focus of Carl. I love the WAZP.
Listen, they're more Carl fans than certainly Misery Loves Company fans. I think all of those that Dabbler panel you were on the other day, hosted by El Haribla.
Of course, yeah, that was a very biased panel.
El Haribla.
Yeah, it was totally biased. That's all I'm saying.
Of
I was
course.
the one guy. After a while, I shut up because Vinny Paulino
you
scared
shut
the
up.
shit
The
out
one
of me.
defender, I get it, but I just think KB brought, like, he was awesome that day. And again, I don't think, like, he just spouts diarrhea all day.
Here's
I don't
my
think
argument.
he necessarily meant any of it.
Here's my argument for why Stuttering John might have been actively involved in trolling everybody, right? So before he went on MLC, Carl mentioned this. This is on the BS show. It's Carl talking the next day. But listen to what he says here.
Oh, this is another thing that John messaged me before he went on MLC. He was already looking to back out of the show. He wrote, I was under the impression that this was going to be an air out our differences kind of show, but my people are telling me that this is a coordinated roast.
My people.
And that was the other thing that KB was feeding him this shit too. He's like, oh yeah, Carl's gonna have his producer there and all the guys. I'm like, Kevin, you're making this up. I didn't have anyone over. I just wanted to do a 1v1 with John. And all of a sudden, Kevin Brennan that's gaslighting. He's fucking lying to John and telling him that this is a coordinated roast that we're putting together. And that's the other thing too, because obviously I went on this show and we were, brainstorming some funny names for the show, but I wasn't looking for you guys to be like, okay, what else should I hit him with? What else should I hit him with? Like, I do all my own research. I'm on this. I got it.
Right. We're not sitting here playing. When do you guys want to pop in? And when are and Mike, you put on a wig and all this stuff.
Super chat from Deadfool 1999. Thank you very much, Deadfool. God bless. Hear that, Carl? Carlos dares you. No, I don't. That was Brian. He's on another podcast.
I got more IMDb credits too than all those guys combined. The entire Dabbleverse combined.
Then do you include this on your IMDb credits?
No, not at all.
Brian is the only guy in this whole universe that is in the entertainment business.
Not now, right? Not right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, before that.
So my theory there is that we have John from multiple sources saying he was looking to bail, or at least setting up the fact that he was looking to bail. I think this was a work on John's part. And I think Kevin just had the unfortunate, I guess, luck of laying that down, putting that suggestion out there, giving John that out that John was already looking for to fuck with all of us. Still, I don't think Kevin.
Why didn't John take it? That could be the ultimate fuck you to Carl. Hey man, you're making your living off me.
Because John wants the money.
Well, no, I think John was just fucking with everybody. He wanted to make it so unpredictable. We had to watch that. It was appointment viewing.
I bet you Carl sent an email. So I'll give you the $500, and he was like, "All right, I'll go on."
And then, like, I think a well-placed fart in the hour before that interview was to be live, I think John would have used that as an excuse to suddenly, I'm not going to go on, and then he still would have showed up. And just a footnote to that clip at the end there, Shuli says, "Hey, it's not like we've ever planned anything. It's not like we planned when 2 weeks ago they had Chad undercover." Planning, like all of them, the whole thing. Maybe John was traumatized by that. Am I convincing anybody in the chat to leave Kevin Brennan alone?
No.
Well, again, he doesn't deserve it. I don't think he deserves it. He just went on hot that day. He went on extremely angry, probably more so at Bob and Shuli. And Carl got tied into it by an afterthought, because I thought the funniest thing of the show is when Carl did pop on when Brennan goes, I think I'm going to leave my own show. He was like, didn't think Carl was going to call his bluff. He didn't think John was going to say I wasn't going to be on the show. He's
Emmett
Mitch.
Mitch says John isn't smart enough to think that far ahead. Carlos danger. Although
Agreed.
maybe it was of the afternoon. I mean, it's hard for me to argue against that based on what John's been like. My theory is that suddenly he went backwards in time and had a moment of clarity and was able to do this. The other video I wanted to I called this Shuli loses an argument to himself. This is him reacting with Carl to what had happened the day before with MLC and Kevin just laying down, I thought, as Spears said, just talking stream of consciousness and being like, yeah, quit. Because the thing we forget here in this video, I think that it shows it, Kevin said, go on the show.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers that. Kevin said, go on the show. We got a lot of FKBs.
I'm
going in on KB.
But like in the same way that one time he was like called at the beginning of the show, called Stuttering John a buffoon. And then by the end of the show, he's like, oh man, I got to tell Stuttering John I was just kidding. Like he starts every show hot. And then by the end, hey, he gives Carl a hard time about playing guitar with John. By the end of his show, he starts off whatever he's fighting about, they're joking about and laughing at the end of the show.
Here we go. Here's proof. Here's beloved chatter first. Carl low-key. All right, it disappeared. It's like Carl low-key trashes everyone for a living, but can't handle a little pushback from a non-retard. Wow, you ruined my interview, KB. Ooh, ouch. We see where beloved chatter falls.
Here's
super chats.
I'm sorry, El Horrible. Go ahead.
No. Kevin, I think Kevin started this all out as a joke.
Yeah.
But then he saw how easily manipulatable Stuttering John was. So he kept it going because in the beginning he said, he was like, what do you think, KB? Should I do a show? He's like, no, you should fucking do a show. He's fucking rip on you. Don't do his fucking show. Right. And then later, once everything started happening, he was like, do the show if you could get a guarantee. I mean,
Kevin's all about the money.
Yeah.
But that was the shitty part, though. That was the absolute shittiest part. Yes, he said do the show, but then he was trying to renegotiate a deal that Carl had already made with John. And that was just all shit.
Come on. There's really deals. Are there deals and rules in the Dabbleverse? Come on, guys.
And John prides himself on being a man of his word. That's why I feel like he didn't negotiate. Or maybe he did, because by the end of the call with Carl said he would guarantee John 500. Now, I heard a number that John only got 560. I don't know where that number came from.
John.
Came from John?
Yes.
Okay. But I feel like Carl got more than half of that in Super Chat, right? Like, so they didn't split the super chats, and maybe KB fucked John.
Like that $60 was, hey, I'll give you a little bit extra from the super chats,
right?
Hey, Carl was a stand-up guy for doing that.
I'm in my basement on a StreamYard. I don't know what these big time podcasters do. Soft 17 for $2. Anyone know what Ray's big news is today? No, we invited him on, and he won't show us.
He made a boom boom in the potty.
Right, got lead.
He bought a propane grill. All right, but wait, here's my thing. Here's Shuli losing an argument to himself. My words.
Super chats after that.
Well, first you just told me I shouldn't do it, and now you tell me to negotiate.
No, but then I calmed down. I said, take. Don't split super chats because he's gonna lie. Take it. Say I need. Basically, what?
And now Carl's a flat out liar.
I did say he's got to pay you before the show starts, so that way you have a guarantee, and that way afterwards he can't fuck you and go, I only made this much, and he's going to put it on his Patreon, so he's going to make more money there. So say you need at least minimum $750 before the show starts, and then you can figure out the rest from there.
Yeah, I don't. After hearing you in the beginning telling me don't do it, then I don't. I'll take your advice. I think that you know what the fuck you're doing as opposed to these other.
So this way, when he gets called out for not doing the show, he can go, Kevin told me not to do it. Yeah. Take it up with him.
Fucking losers. So fucking, I'll take your advice on this and just tell him to fuck off.
No, I can see do the show, but get money up front. Don't take a cut of super chats.
But now
it's making me insane that he's talking.
All right, so my theory there is that Kevin throws it out as a joke, right? Doesn't really mean it. John, meanwhile, is doing a work, as Shuli said. John is looking, he sees Kevin lay that down, and John picks it up and runs with it because it's a work to him. Shuli says right there that he's playing Kevin for a patsy. But then at the end of that clip, Kevin's like, go on the show. And I think later in the broadcast, and you pointed this out, and everyone pointed out how Kevin seemed frazzled. I think maybe deep down in his dark Irish heart, he felt bad that perhaps he had ruined this for Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Of course. Yeah. Everything was becoming a reality to him. Like, oh shit, I really fucked this guy's big show up. Yeah, that's why he's frazzled. At one point, he was blaming it on the fact that Elisa Jordana is a horrible guest.
Hey, there's some validity to that.
Fucking sense.
Talk about deflection.
But it was like almost Joe Biden level dementia or something. Because Carl's like, you fucking ruined it, KB. You fucking ruined it for me. And he's like, yeah, but you gotta fucking know that Elisa Jordana was on your show and with John, and she was like fucking horrible.
It went off the rails because of Stuttering John, the evil genius that is Stuttering John in his moment of clarity to troll us all.
No. Look, do you think he thought Stuttering John was going to come on the show?
Who are you asking?
I don't think that. I'm asking in general. Do you think he thought Sterling John was going to pop on the street?
There's too many he's. Who's the he's
Kevin
in
Brennan.
that sentence?
Did you think when Kevin Brennan started the show and said, "Hey, Sterling John, they're trolling you," do you think he thought John was going to call in?
Possibly because they have been communicating regularly. And if you know John wants a daddy. Just like many of these guys, he wanted Howard Stern to be his daddy. And
I don't know if he wants a daddy or just someone else that's on his side. Because come on, all you guys are,
yeah, that's
rightfully so,
right,
and
I'll give you that
entertaining. One. But he's, he needs one a lot. Give him one guy to team up with.
Here's a $4.99 super chat. That's true. The whole internet has been against John for.
He's got Grillo.
And guess what?
Years right now. I think it's nice that he got one possibly little win. And maybe I'm being sentimental and giving it to him. But the ghosts of Mr. P and Ari J's, I don't know who Ari Jane is. What? Blown out smelly box. Quote, the old Stern guys.
Carlos, why would you say that about her?
Don't I have to? Isn't that the YouTube term? I love you, Ari Jane. It's not me. It's Mr. P.
Why would you say that about her?
The old Stern guys are trying to relive the old bits they were either in or wanted to be in.
Way to save a couple of bucks, Ghost.
Yeah,
with your hieroglyphics.
But you know what? I appreciate the fact that you paid for that because I'm reading some too. But they are all grifters. Carl, KB, El Harible, Melton is good, and Mad Dog's got your 6 p.m. Thank you, Ghost.
Good morning, Mike is a Mad Dog program, everybody.
Mike G for $2. Carlos Danger, you give way too much credit to SJ. Okay, I respect your opinion.
I like seeing Stuttering John win whenever he can. I'm rooting for John more than I am hating on him.
I also
so rare.
Kevin is like, I think he probably thinks John is a buffoon in real, truthfully. Like
he thinks we're all buffoons.
But I think he's just keeping him like, I'm going to keep him I'm going to try to keep him on my side or use him just to piss everyone else off.
Yes. We've got $2 from Radish Diff. I need to retire the Radish Diff account. Sorry. Is that because of this podcast? I hope not.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that, Radish. And the other thing I'm going to say here, and KB touched upon this a little, the fact that this happened, the fact that Stuttering John was thinking of pulling out, I thought it was a work on John's behalf. Other people said it was because KB talked him into it and Alex Stein saved the day after the fact.
And Joey C.
Oh, and Joey C. But holy shit, did it make me want to watch the interview. I have not been invested in this. I was more invested in this interview because of KB and all the drama that was happening. I went on your stream, El Harible. That was a joy. It was so much fun. It was better than being present at the birth of my children. And I will say, Bob Levy gets it, ladies and gentlemen. Here is a clip of Bob Levy getting it.
It's like, who are you going to run off with? Ski Mask or Stancil? Those are your choices. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, that whole fucking thing turned out perfect. It was at the end, it turned out perfect because the promotion and the heat that got going into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you look at Kevin as whatever you want, but it turned out genius.
But it wasn't because of Kevin Brennan.
That's right.
It was despite Kevin Brennan. Yes, it did work out great. Thank goodness it did. I'm very happy for that.
Yeah.
But you can't sit here and go, wow, that was the best work anyone's ever seen. No, that was not a work.
Yeah, but
John
it ended up
literally
being,
blocked me and said, I'm not doing the show.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
but it ended up being something that was spectacular when it could have been total bullshit. There's no doubt.
Here's the point. Kevin didn't go into it trying to hype this up and help Carl promote it and get heat on it. Kevin.
And I guess perhaps I'm being Captain Obvious here, but I mean, it was great. It was great content. And I will ask El Harible, I don't know if you know the answer to this. What is, well, you're going to know it because given the context, what is the second most viewed live stream on your channel?
On my channel? I would have to say maybe the Pottstown post show.
According to your public posts, it was your pre-show.
Whoa!
You should be thanking Kevin Brennan. Kevin Brennan gave you your best traffic of all time, as far as I can tell.
That's my best show or my second best?
I'm sorry, your most popular. Well, second, your your number one was your live stream from DabbleCon.
Oh, okay.
And now number two in just 2 days. In 2 days, this has just about matched.
No, it's gotten a lot of views, and I thought that was actually my number one. That's why I guessed the Pottstown one is number two, but I forgot about DabbleCon. Well, thank you, Brennan. But I mean, I think it's just the whole, it was the whole environment. Like I said, anytime there's a big event like that, I want to do a pre-show. It went exactly how I wanted it to go, even though we didn't think there was going to even be a show to pre-show. Everything was great, and then everything fell together just perfectly. We ended just as they were starting, and it was great. That was a great day. That brought back like DabbleCon days, even if it was just for a couple hours.
I agree with you. To me, it was the most fun I've had in this universe since DabbleCon,
and that's what made it great too. Was the ups and the downs of it. You know, we were riding
Kevin Brennan of it all.
Right? Yeah, it was great.
You Kevin.
I've won over OJ.
Speaking of biases, who's the only one here who gets emails from Kevin Brennan to go on his show? I've been trying to get in that universe. He ignores me. He knows I do the best impression of him. He knows Tukey is funny goofing on Chad, but he pretends like I don't exist. Why won't you look at me, Daddy?
I think he might think we're the same person. Like I'm just sometimes wearing a mask. That might be it. Then he's like confused. And who's this boring fat guy? He's very confused. I think OJ, we can't see, but OJ gets invites all the time. He raised his hand. Dave Doors, $2. KB equals Karen Brennan. And then what's the hashtag that's going around? Is it hashtag FKB? That's the
Amy is exactly right. 199. Would KB forgive this if it happened to him? He's still going off about Calta giving out his number and Shuli being there. Like Shuli was supposed to jump across the table and go, Calta, no.
Well, if he was a man, he would have done that.
Stop it.
Although this did happen. This happened in a small way, according to Kevin. To Kevin. No. I'm talking about the time he was supposed to have Brian Johnson on, and he was all excited because Brian Johnson was going to come on and bash Shuli, and allegedly Bob put some type of stop to it, and that sort of almost started to turn Brennan on Levy. And credit to Levy for hanging on as long as he has. But no, I can't argue with that point. That's a very good point, Amy Elizabeth.
Yeah, but
would KB forgive?
But that's not his show either. If he forgave, it'd be the Shuli show. Like, they'd be friends. He has integrity.
Then why is he backpedaling and trying to pretend like he didn't cause an issue?
He didn't.
But he almost did.
Oh, stop.
I mean,
I love
stop.
I love how the fact that Carl's audience is bigger and could cause a boycott, and then he'll have to go to his half Mexican kids and go, there will be no Feliz Navidad this year. El Santos is not coming.
Disavow. I will say one thing that's been disappointing me, and I'm going to look at you, chat. This whole thing where we're like, I'm going to cancel my Patreon. I regularly super chat. I'll never do it again. I don't like the fact that every time we get annoyed at one of these broadcasters, our thing is to take away their money, put them out of business. We want them on the streets. Like I listened to Howard Stern a million years ago. He would often say stuff that I'd be like, oh man, that kind of sucks. And you turn the channel.
Yeah, but,
you go back later. No. You don't start. Oh, nobody give. Cancel culture. The definition of cancel culture.
You talk with your wallet, and sometimes that's how these people want to teach. You a lesson. It's not put them on the streets. It's just showing them like, hey, we did not like what you did, so you're gonna
do it in a regular chat. I don't like people jump right to I'm not going to give money or I'm going to take my money away. You know what I mean? We're all in this together. God bless the United States of America. We're on the verge of a recession. We got to help each other out. I agree with party here.
I agree in spirit, but I could understand why fans would do that. Like I said, to teach kind of a lesson. Like, dude, you do stupid shit like that, then it's gonna cost.
Weird YouTube thing.
I don't think it's even affecting him. From what I saw when I was tuned in, he's still getting super chats. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, everything.
I mean, it is his brand. I mean, even like I got viciously attacked on Twitter, going back and forth with a convicted sex offender about I'm too new to the KB universe and. Admittedly, I've only listened since the beginning of the pandemic, but it's a whole weird world. What I'm saying is Kevin Brennan alienates all fan bases. It's sort of amazing when you think about it. Just in the past year, all the giant fan bases, or at least giant for this dirty corner of the internet, he has pissed off specifically and unapologetically.
And let me just, because I have to point this out because there's been a few people in the chat saying that, and I got to mention this, that Kevin Brennan won't have El Horrible on because he's wearing a mask. Bullshit. He had Ski Mask come on before he ever took his mask off. So that's horseshit. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally, in all seriousness, I would love to see El Horrible on Kevin Brennan. He may not be the biggest.
Bashing Shuli. You'll get on in a second.
Well, they kind of do every Saturday, these two guys.
Not enough.
Well,
and
El Horrible
OJ
has
completely caved the other day.
No, he didn't.
Oh, we're going to have to bring that up tomorrow.
Okay,
Barrister 1401, $5 super chat. Carlos Danger. No, I said my opponent. That's what I
Barrister.
Oh, did I say that wrong?
Barrister.
Don't clip that, Barrister. Don't you dare clip that. Carlos Danger is a convicted sex offender. Not surprised. I assume you're talking about Anthony Weiner, who may or may not. I don't know, but not me. Right. Obviously, you're not referring to me. I appreciate that, Barrister. All right, the aggrieved party here, of course, was Carl Hamburger. Although the interview happened, like the next day after this interview happened, the whole internet, the whole BS show was acting as if John didn't go on. Like we were that angry at Kevin Brennan. I mean, obviously, Shuli took the chance. Kevin Brennan has been attacking him relentlessly for months. So Shuli saw that opportunity to finally stab back and throw some deep jabs back. But wait, I got another clip. I don't know where it went. This is Carl reacting. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Ghost of Mr. P seems to be blaming me for blocking him from super chatting, which I just want to clear my name and say, no, I have not. I have no control over Carlos's channel.
And do you want me
you're blocked on this channel?
That's what you're saying, or is it on Archa? I don't know. He's saying that I blocked him before, and now he's saying they blocked me from super chats.
Oh yeah, sorry, Mr. P. We read one of your things, and I'm here. Like this is I'm the whole manager moderator.
I don't know what he's talking
Unless
about.
Kinky Loco's lurking in the chat, banning people. That could be a thing. Principled Uncertainty said Carlos fisted my neighbor's cat. Dominic Sin Ray told us all about Carlos. What did Ray say?
Somebody said I folded. I wanted to get. But
go ahead and address that.
Do you want me to wait till tomorrow?
Yeah,
I don't know.
For your show. This is a tease.
We could tease it. I mean, I was gonna send Shuli a link and see if he wanted to come on, and you guys could. No, you don't want me to do that?
No.
Okay, then just talk about it here then.
I mean, I'll do whatever, but so I didn't fold. The show wasn't about me. Okay, like that would have taken the show into a whole different direction. That would have been a whole show.
Yeah, but it would have taken it off KB, who did nothing wrong.
No, Brian, you're just trolling. You're just trolling OJ. OJ handled that perfectly. It wasn't the. It's a whole sidetrack.
I just wanted it for me, OJ. I just agree with you, so I just wanted it strictly for me.
Oh, the Shuli haters.
Been a show for me.
I don't have to bring Shuli a link tomorrow either. I just thought of that right on the spot. I wasn't planning on that. I kind of forgot about that until it just popped up. But yeah, we do have to talk about that tomorrow.
I could be very confrontational, and I could go off when I want to. I've decided to move on away from that. I don't want to stir those emotions.
You sound like Bob right now.
No, because
kind of curious.
This good business, working with these guys, we can all make money. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm sitting on the fence now. It's stupid of me to, but yeah, I just, there's no reason for me to stir up any shit. I've said what I've thought about him. I don't need to make up with him. I don't want to do his show, but other than that, they could do their own thing. We could do our thing. If El Horrible wants to do something, that's fine. No problem for my side. But I gotta say, are they going for like a retro look with their logo? It looked like I was ready to like break dance. It looks like something.
But before I conclude my summation of how I want peace with Shuli. Fuck his logo and his. Okay, I see what's going on there.
I'm being sincere. Like it looks like a retro. I don't know if that was what they were going for. It looks like graffiti from the 80s.
Yeah, it's weird to me, but I would like to see Shuli and OJ have some type of dialogue on El Horrible's show tomorrow. I would watch that. Where I would like to see you guys maybe make up, but I understand your position, OJ. So far be it from me to tell you what to do at all. But I would watch that show. Barrister 1401, $5. Chris Hansen to Carlos. Why don't you have a seat over there? Why doesn't Chris Hansen pay his bills? You ever look that up? Go look up all the what Chris Hansen was up to in Connecticut a couple of years ago. How do I get this off the screen now? Oh, that's the last one. All right. So here is. Did I play this already? Did I play Carl Reacts yet, or did I not play it? So to be fair, this is Carl talking about what bothered him, and also I'm going to call out my own hypocrisy because I'm here bitching about how the chat wants to take money out of people's pockets and they're not going to. It all comes down to like money and keeping money and not giving money and all that. But Carl feels that's what Kevin was trying to do to him.
I mean, and you had every right to be fucking mad because I know you've been working on this fucking thing for
What
a while.
Bitch move by Kevin Brennan. First off, telling John not to do my show, which was a bitch move, and then negotiating on John's behalf an hour before the show's about to start, telling John he should be asking for money up front. What the fuck? I know he feels ripped off. I know he feels ripped off. He paid John $3,000 and everyone else gets him for pennies on the dollar, but that's not my problem, Kevin. And honestly, I see a lot of backlash coming towards KB after that. That was a bitch move.
Mm-hmm. I've been a financial supporter of MLC and BS for many months, but after what KB tried to do to Carl yesterday, I'm done with MLC. He's mad because Carl went on BS. I love you, but
thank you very much for that, because it really was jealousy. It all came out of jealousy. He saw me on your guys' show and he went, I don't like Shuli, so Carl shouldn't be doing Shuli's show. Carl's better than that. I'm like, no, there's thousands of people watching this. I'm promoting my show. Why wouldn't I do this? And KB was a jealous little bitch and decided to take it out on me by telling John not to do my show. And I want to give huge props to Alex Stein, Primetime 99, who I talked to last night after our show. He's the one who called John and convinced him to come on WATP, according to
I thought it was Joey C.
Shout out to Joey C if he's in the chat. I can't tell. I got too much going on. But of course, that was Carl's side of it. And he sort of mirrored what you were saying before on your pre-show, El Horrible. That the issue here is that $3,000 allegedly. I don't know if I buy that because I love KB to the death. But right, does anyone have a reaction to that, or do you want me to play KB's reaction to Carl?
My reaction is that Carl looks like he just got home from his T-ball game. And Shuli's logo looks like something you would have got airbrushed at the Seaside Heights Boardwalk on a white T-shirt. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. They pay someone to do that?
It's signed. So if you look in one of the letters, it's got somebody's signature, their tag.
It's like a graffiti artist type thing.
Beat Street, man. It's a Beat Street.
All their merch is kind of shitty. Honestly.
I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember break boards, but it makes me want to get my break. It was just like a piece of cardboard that you would break on. Yeah,
of course. But yeah, that was my reaction to that clip. What were they talking about?
Super chats and all that.
If you want, you know what? Well, again, aren't these the podcast wars of 23?
If you want to invite Shuli on El Horrible, I have no problem with that. I'll be as cordial as I can and keep my.
No, I mean we could talk about, because I know I just sprung it on you here because I'm literally
breaking news.
Oh, is Ray DeVito on?
Now, OJ has agreed to have Shuli possibly appear on El Horrible stream tomorrow morning.
I do just want to squash it so there's no animosity on either side. Maybe clear some things up. It's fine. Well, I don't even have to bring everything up. It would be too long of a show.
Maybe we'll do
Mojo
that
Buffalo.
No idea what we were going to do for 2 hours tomorrow then. Fantastic.
Unreal how many grown men get angry over what other grown men do on their show. Is everyone insecure about their slice of the Dabbler?
We're Yentas.
I don't know if that was us or. Well, I will say in general. I mean, critics are a thing. I mean, critics. What is art without critics? You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Well, Roger Ebert really couldn't direct the movie, but he wrote about them damn well. All right, so here is Kevin Brennan, by the way, reacting yesterday on his show.
By the way.
The show kind of started Misery Loves Company at 4 p.m. yesterday, and then one of Kevin's longtime supporters, a chatter, I'm talking about a super chatter, brought it up, and here's how it went down.
Believe for life. Oh, wow. $27.99 Canadian. Hatred is like drinking poison and then waiting for it to kill your enemy. Hatred is like drinking. Mike, can you shut the fuck up? Hatred is like drinking poison and then waiting for it to kill your enemy. Congrats, KB. You've turned into what you claim Shuli is. Never take food off another man's table, period. Punk move. First of all, I did more for that piece of shit show by doing what I did than anything else they could have done, probably, for life. So go fuck yourself, with all due respect. You think Carl coming on my show and John coming on my show didn't help their show? You fucking maroon. And what is Carl's show? Doesn't Carl watch clips of other podcasts and then comment on them? That's all I did. I watched Carl's show, a clip of Carl's show that Carl put out. It wasn't put out by somebody else. Carl's dumb enough, the day of his big interview, he puts out a clip of him shitting on Stuttering John. I just thought it was an odd choice. So I said, that's really, really stupid for Stuttering John, for him to shit on Stuttering John the day of the big.
I mean, I do agree that it was a great hype for the interview. I don't know if I entirely get the whole thing about Carl putting out a clip. I think at this point, Kevin is
looking
like
for anything.
Yeah, he's reaching, but it's funny.
Well, he's looking to escalate it because that's his brand and that's
Also,
what he does. Tony
I think
Sal
it's hilarious. He loved a couple weeks ago. Carl's a funny guy. He's a great guy. He's a great this. And then the day after, he's like, that hack show. That's stupid. I mean, I love it. It's hilarious.
I never liked him. Tony Sal for $5. OJ folded like a cheap tent. Shout out Mr. P and Aras Lona Box. Eh?
Thank you, Tony.
Damn. And I don't know if I put this one. Barrister 1401 for $2. For $2, you're going to say that? El Harible, don't let Carlos near your little sister. Ow!
Thank you.
Wow.
No, never.
I don't see the humor in that. I mean, what do you guys think about the fact that Carl, who he almost maintains like a journalistic, not objectivity, but he's a little not standoffish, but he's not really a player in the drama as far as I can tell. To the point that he has been these last couple of days, where we're commenting on him as a personality in all this. Does that mean Carl's star has been raised because of this? Does that question make any sense at all? Because I'm just completely talking out of my ass. Somebody help me out.
I understand what you're saying, and I think since Carl kind of was the forefront of building this community, like we all kind of built this community around Carl. I know that KB was doing stuff before Carl, but I don't know how to answer your question, honestly.
It is a tough one. I'm trying to say, the fact that Carl now, we're talking about KB and Shuli and all these people, and then Carl, like, on equal terms. We're not talking about what he necessarily said on a podcast, but the fact that he is totally involved in this drama that's sort of separate and apart and away from his show, which also doesn't make sense, but it will later.
No, I think I know. Like, are you trying to say, like, is Carl untouchable in a way?
No, I'm not making any sense. So maybe we should just move on. Okay. No, I'm saying that he's become like a sort of a star.
I think that's true. I think he's the guy that invented his format. So he's sort of above everyone else.
I'm saying I didn't respect them before. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. No,
well, I mean, he has a bigger audience than Shuli and Kevin. Like he has the biggest audience out of anyone.
True. And I guess I'm saying that, but his show is like, it's formatted and he does his thing and it's professional and you know what you're going to get out of it. And this almost, to see him come on there red-faced and angry and just reacting, I thought was something different. And I liked it. I liked it.
Well, I like that. I like that he got angry and defended his show. I mean, I think that's cool about it. And I think, he's angry. So that makes it a more.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I just think that makes it more entertaining. If I'm going to watch this like in the Real Housewives kind of way, to me, that's what I want. Now, next week, I don't want them to be friends. Listen, I don't want people doing anything mean, to Kevin's channel. I don't like any of that stuff or do anything to Carl's channel. It's just, but I mean, I think these guys, what drives me nuts about like Shuli is he's so passive aggressive and
Can someone confirm whether Ray is live? I'm sorry.
I heard Ray was doing an emergency show in 20 minutes, and that was a while ago.
If somebody checks, we will definitely stream. We will definitely.
And
Stream
we
snipe
know
that, yeah.
ROTC was doing it before Carl, but Carl
I'll take
brought
a look.
all this to another level. Like I know everyone keeps saying Carl did it first and he didn't or whatever. Who gives a shit? Carl was the most successful at it.
Yeah.
Mojo Buffalo, I lose respect for anyone who takes serious offense, often to the point of physical threats to anything in this corner of the internet.
Sure.
Hard
I
to
still wanna
argue against that.
Smack Chad Zumach's fat face every time I see him on a stream, but it's never
You
going
just
to
hate
get the
fat
physical
people.
thing. Yes, I am very much disgusted by them. But I've been saying, like, the reason that we enjoy the fact that Carl came on all pissed off is because, yes, it's real. Like, this is what everyone wanted reality TV to be like. And even though there is an aspect of there is some writing to all this and there are some things that are manipulated and made up or whatever, for the most part, when Ray goes on at night at 10, 11 o'clock at night and is swigging from a wine bottle because he thinks it's healthier than beer, that's real. That's not written. Like, no one wrote that for Ray.
All pulled down. We'll see what happens.
That's why this is all so fascinating.
Oh wait, did I just put that on there? Am I looking at my own thing? Or
No,
did you do that?
I put it up there.
Oh, okay. So let's have a listen to this maniac. Can you control that, OJ? I'm sorry to interrupt.
But that's what it is.
No, you're fine.
Is my show still going to be on the network? Yes.
Let me just read the super chat. Barrister 1401, $5. Carl is the alpha of the Dabbleverse. KB and Shuli are close seconds. Everyone else are picking at leftovers. Carlos is picking at young kids.
It's I'm just not going to do other stuff. I'm just going to worry about my show on the network, the 1 hour, 15 minutes that I have on that network.
You said that before.
I'm going to focus on that. I'm not going to focus on the other stuff. So
what does that mean?
He's not selling shirts. He's taking down all the
that's
merchandise.
it. And then this is Drunk on Cringe. We'll be doing shirts like this.
Fuck, I need a
So we'll do
Raytard
this,
shirt.
we'll do
Someone
a
buy
bad
me a
shirt,
Raytard shirt before they're
and
limited
we're
edition.
going to
So I think he was saying he
move
was
forward
kind
like
of
that.
watching
So,
other
my
stuff,
show
but
will
now
still be
he's
on there,
gonna
and I'm just gonna
absolutely
do
watch
my hour,
nothing
15-minute
anymore and
show
just focus on himself.
once a week with producer Joe. But yeah, I think I'm done as far as I'm.
As what?
It's disappointing.
What
Did
is
you
he
think someone would
saying?
have your back?
Well, go
and
back a
someone
little
would,
bit.
Is he
go
done with
back
Shuli?
and the fact that they don't.
Is he done
Okay.
watching
What are you
the
gonna do?
Shuli
Like,
Network? That's what
He
it
literally
sounds
said it
like.
right when we started.
Right. Well, he said he's still doing his
All right, here
show.
we go.
What's up? We're
What's
going
up, what's up,
live. We're
everybody?
live. 2:49 p.m. So
He's
sorry
home
about
too,
that.
Carlos. He had
Yeah,
nothing
I'm,
going
A
on.
little late. This is
a
emergency
dick.
episode. Emergency episode. Announcements.
What is this guy so
The
pissed off
Bears
for?
spill the beans. Ray is on the warpath. 2:45 Eastern. 2:49 Eastern. 2:49 Eastern. Yeah, 2:40. I gotta hurry up. I got to get to the gym, get a workout, and then
Get to the point, Ray.
Akron tonight for my comedy shows at the Funny Stop.
Oh
So,
my
all right.
God.
All right.
You need to know your whole
So
itinerary.
here's where we're at. I sent a. So I did not watch the Shuli Network show. I reached out to Shuli yesterday, and I reached out to him today, and I guess they did a show on the BS show, shitting on me, putting on like what do you call it? Little.
Oh, he's the worst.
Little like
Can people hear it?
Nazi things or something on me. People like sent me the like screenshots of what they were doing. Had Patrick Melton on, like making fun of me or whatever. Here's the deal, man. I put out an ultimatum. If you buy merchandise from them off of Melton's network, I said, this is what I said. I said they got till tomorrow noon Eastern time. If that shirt is on their website, I want all my merchandise pulled. So
Cease and
if you're going to
desist.
buy my merchandise, which I appreciate if you did. Yeah, look, I even got a shirt. I got drunk on cringe waiting in the wings. That
This is a work.
yeah, he hates that I'm getting fucked over. Everybody see it. A lot of people, a lot of you reached out to me saying, dude, this is dumb. This is bullshit. Yeah.
Did you, Carlos?
If situation was reversed,
I did 2
if
super chats
situation
about
was
this.
reversed, and I was doing merchandise with Patrick Melton, and it was my network, and Shuli had a show on my network, and I came up with a shirt that said Jutard and had Shuli's name on it.
Whoa!
It said
Clip
1949 on it. he'd have every right to be pissed at me. Well, first of all, I wouldn't let that happen. I would yell at Melton. I'd be like, no, dude, you can't have that shit up there. But the fact they don't have, please do not buy any of my merchandise on there. I want it
this
all
is a
pulled
good
down.
question.
We'll see what happens. If that shirt's still up at noon tomorrow, all my shit's done, and it's on Drunk at Cringe. For the fact that Shuli will not text me back or call me and discuss this, then that's that. But that's what it is. So is my show still going to be on the network? Yes. Yeah, I'm still on.
I think I've seen enough.
It's like having a show. Let's say
what he's saying.
You don't make that.
There's no announcement.
So all he's saying is that by noon tomorrow, he wants the merch that he has no control over pulled from a website he has no control over, and he's encouraging people to go to Drunk on Cringe to buy merch for Ray DeVito. I mean, Ray, I love you. Just quit the network then at this point. If this was a bridge too far, just quit the network.
I don't understand why he still does the Shuli network. Anyone who's on the Shuli network already knows about Ray DeVito. I don't think him being on the Shuli network is benefiting him. It only seems to be causing him a lot of headaches.
Right. If it's that stressful, if it's having that big an impact on his life, he should just get out and just let it be.
I'm conflicted now. Do I buy a Raytard shirt or do I not?
Got till noon, dude.
I know, but I feel like noon tomorrow. Like this sounds like a everything must go sale to me.
It's gonna be like a bank rush.
I know. That's why I almost don't want to give in, because I feel like this is what Ray wants. Like
if anyone's going to Atlantic City, they should all be Raytard shirts.
Yes, I agree 100%. What is the website anyway? I don't even know where their merch is.
Oh,
it's some of the ugliest merch.
I think it's sendshulimoney.com.
Well, I will say the best thing on there is the one that he was the one for his hot sauce that was made by a professional. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I wish they would put it on a hat. I would buy another. But all right, really, Ray's not as innocent as he portrays. I love Ray. I just don't know what he's doing. He also totally blew me off here. He totally screwed me over. After all the times I've been sitting here preparing for this shitty podcast, making these clips, Brian, at the last minute, I would say, you know what? Ray needs my help. I'm going to take our clips, play them on Ray's show. Done that countless times. Sometimes we don't even get to them. Only to have Ray say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to address that. Then he mutes me. To have him just, I don't know. It's not about me, though. I get it. Here's Carl Hamburger of WATP reacting to Kevin Brennan's reaction. God damn it, I'm pissed.
That was kind of fun. That was neat. And then KB, Kevin Brennan, who tried to ruin that, went on his show today and decided to start rewriting history by saying he changes everything that happened. He goes, Carl was mad at me because I was commenting on his clips, but that's what Carl does. No. You brought John on and told him not to do my show, and then said if he does do my show, he should ask for more money.
He actively tried to screw you out of a show or money, one or the other. He was like, either don't do it or demand more money.
Right. And Stancil, the same fucking thing. And Stancil, I messaged him like, you're a piece of shit. And he's like, oh, that's what I do. Oh, that's what you do? You take people's money from them? Cool, dude. Neat.
That's the thing. At the end of the day, at least Kevin can say that he's being funny because he is a funny guy. The other guy was just a retard chiming in.
Yeah. Yes.
Ouch. Jim Stancil getting some flack. Money is the root of all evil. So
Jim Stancil just looks like he's looking at his camera and doing his hair the whole time anyway.
He's been interesting lately. I miss that old school Ski Mask Collective stuff. Finally, this was also in Kevin's show yesterday. It was a chat really deep into the program. And I think this is food for thought. I've been playing the back and forth, to be fair. But listen to what this super chatter has to say to Kevin.
Oh, I think I know what it means. Okay.
Professional dork, Carl. Professional dork, $10. Here was my plan. I'll have a show that depends on the guy I constantly call an unreliable piece of shit. Thank you. Here was my plan. I'll have a show that depends on a guy I constantly call an unreliable piece of shit, and then blame someone else when he almost acts like an unreliable piece of shit. How didn't I see that coming? Bob, you see this classic fucking super chat? Here was my plan. This is from Carl. Here was my plan. I'll have a show that depends on a guy I constantly call an unreliable piece of shit, and then blame someone else when he almost acts like an unreliable piece of shit. How didn't I see that coming? Oof.
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, we thought there was.
That's why you pay him in advance.
I love Bob Levy. His reactions. Oh, well, yeah. No, I love that guy. But I don't know. There is some merit to that argument in the.
No, there's not.
It's Stuttering John's fault.
But John wasn't going to be an unreliable piece of shit until Kevin put it in his head to be.
No, but according to Carl, the clip I played earlier, John was already saying, my people are telling me this is going to be something. He didn't even know what show he was going on.
Also, why can't Kevin give an opinion? That doesn't mean John has to take it.
Exactly. Where's the accountability here?
I mean, come on.
Because he's a pea brain. I've already told you. We know that.
And Kevin knows that too. And Kevin also knows that John doesn't respect very many people. And he knows right now that he has John's respect.
Can I just say, whoever's in charge of inflating Mike Buschetti, enough. He's almost at capacity and he's going to blow up. You've done your job. He doesn't need to be inflated anymore. Holy shit, what is happening to Mike Buschetti?
I felt so bad yesterday because he came on and I was a bit manic and he badmouthed Greg Fitzsimmons right off the bat, which I found so hilarious.
What?
Yeah, he came on there. He was complaining about how Greg Fitzsimmons is a pompous dick, Mike Buschetti. First thing he said. And so I tagged Greg Fitzsimmons on Twitter and he responded. He's like, I can't believe that. I've always been so nice to him. Then I felt
What is Mike Buschetti mad about Greg Fitzsimmons? Greg Fitzsimmons has the personality of crib death. What could he be so offended by?
Westchester County's favorite. DBA Dave, Mike Buschetti has my mom's hair. Tiger Lily, can we stop pretending Brennan does a show? They taught him about super chats and there's never been another show. Rochi, KB has no ideas of his own. There's a bunch here. Carl said himself he was hunting for a way out. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, though, I'm bummed that if this was a legit falling out between these two, meaning Carl and Kevin, that kind of sucks because I did like the two of them together. Carl, the intellectual, you know what I mean? And I just like the two of and Kevin being the funny maniac.
I think it will pass. I think it will pass. I think that Kevin got lucky that John actually went on the show. I think that if John didn't go on the show, then like all bets are off.
It would have been a lot different. I agree.
And then I got one last video to play for you guys, and then we'll call it a day. This was from, again, your stream, El Horrible, and Obnoxious John was there, and myself, and then some other nobodies. I don't even remember. Who was it? Who were those other guys?
I don't remember. Don't worry.
Shuli,
they're not important.
Blind Mike. But this was Vinny Paulino, the great Vinny Paulino, who I met just once at DabbleCon.
And that was it. No one else was there.
Vinny Paulino, who came over and said hi to me at the end of DabbleCon when I was in a blackout. I very much appreciate that. I left my wallet on the bar, but he didn't steal it. I do appreciate that. But holy shit, was he angry on behalf of his friend Carl. This is one thing about Carl. At DabbleCon, I was impressed by the fact like his parents were there. It's a real sort of family-run operation, even though his job is to shit on other podcasts and be incredibly cruel to them. There is something very endearing about the operation Carl has. So anyway, here's what happens when you get one of Carl's friends angry.
Who's into that, really?
I'll tell you a story I just heard about KB the other day from a comic. Completely out of school. I won't say the comic's name, but a contemporary of KB.
Okay.
They tried to switch spots. I believe it was at the Comedy Store out in LA. And he goes, hey, KB, can I switch spots with you? I got another show I got to make down a couple blocks away after. If I get up earlier, it's going to help me out. KB goes, sure, for $20.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah. And he was like, I said, no, fuck you. I'm not giving you $20. He's like, well, fuck you then. That's your show. That's what KB, that's the kind of fucking guy KB was to other comics.
That's shitty.
A sad life.
Dave Dabbler, thank you for the $2.
Now, I'm playing that because, I mean, there was a lot of anti-Kevin on that panel, and I felt like I was sort of being a needle. I was being a dick by constantly trying to stand up for Kevin, and I wanted to say something there, but I just felt it wasn't appropriate, especially given how, because we didn't know at that point whether SJ was going to show up, and Vinny was pacing on, like, even on the monitor, I was like, that dude seems legit mad, and he intimidated me. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm man enough to say that. But now that it's been time and he's not watching, now I've got my cowardice is gone, and I'm ready to say, All right. So I appeared on Kevin Brennan's podcast, right? Once for the full, whatever it is, 18 hours. And it was nerve wracking. And I'm obviously not a comic, not funny, not particularly charismatic. But at the end of it, Joey C bailed me out, by the way. It was nice to have him on there so I could at least have somebody I could try to make fun of. Kevin wanted to send me money and I refused. I was like, no, dude, I almost feel like, why am I taking money from somebody who's like a working comic that may actually need that money, at that moment? It's their profession.
Sure. And I would do the same, Kevin, but now I won't because I said it. But if you ever asked me on, I would have never have taken your money, but now I will.
He wouldn't take no for an answer, to the point, and then I just ignored him. Like, he was messaging me, and I'm like, I'll just ignore him. It's Kevin Brennan. He'll go away. He'll move on. He contacted Ray. He contacted Ray and had Ray reach out to me. So, although I've heard some of those stories, like there's one Connecticut comedy promoter who has a story about Kevin Brennan showing up for a gig and demanding more money. I guess that there are those stories out there, but I just want to let people know that he was good to me.
Yes, but you also helped him out by being on a show. That open micer was not going to benefit Kevin in any way. So I totally believe that story about him wanting $20 to switch places with it. And I don't necessarily.
I'm not saying it's not true.
It's totally true, and that's why he's awesome. That is a great story.
Yeah,
it would have been cooler if he named the comic.
Absolutely.
We'll wrap it up right now. Principal Uncertainty says, I'm a longtime MLC fan, but he generally pissed me off. If he pops Mike Bichetti with a pin, I'll forgive him. Ow!
It seems like if you push Bichetti just a little bit, he'll roll down the entire street.
No, he's a weeble wobble. They'll pop right back up. He doesn't fall
Only the
down.
worst people on the planet contact Ray. You got an FKB from the great Grizzlehorn. Wow. Okay. So I could, I admit I could be in the wrong, but my opinions are my own. You know, I love KB, and I think Stuttering John. I will say, let's end it with Dabbler of the Week, El Horrible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You just said my name, right?
Well, there was a comma. Barrister 1401, $5. Dabblerverse has 3 targets: 1 Stuttering John, 2 Ray DeVito. Oh, that makes me sad. 3 Chad Zumach. Dabblerverse also has 1 pedo. I don't even, to whom are you referring, Barrister? You stop with your riddles like Cardiff Electric. Is Barrister also Cardiff Electric? Is that the same guy?
Can't Kumia ever catch any slack? Jesus.
Ouch. No NLO hat today, Carlos. No, because my pick for Dabbler of the Week is not the great Patrick Melton. It is the great Stuttering John Melendez. I think Stuttering John Melendez was the center of this universe. Now, you could argue that he's always the center of the Dabbleverse, but this week he really was, because because of Stuttering John, we had Kevin Brennan versus Carl. We had Shuli doing a whole 4-hour show on the events involving John and Carl and Kevin. John is the one we should be thanking this week. John is my pick for Dabbler of the Week. Brian Spears, movie makeup person extraordinaire, gorehound, practical effects wizard. Who was your pick for Dabbler of the Week?
I'm a Kevin Brennan fan, so Kevin Brennan had me. Wow. He made the whole week interesting for me.
So we got 1 for SJ. We got 1 for Kevin Brennan. El Horrible.
Oh, no.
Well, seeing as how I don't think I could win if I nominate myself.
You could.
Well, I'm going to go with Carl Hamburger.
Kiss ass.
I love him.
So we got 1 for Carl. And then OJ, you can choose your own, and then the chat can decide.
Well,
I just got a text from my boss. He might be watching. I think I'm fired. You can pick your own, and then we can go to the chat, or you can try to be the tiebreaker here.
Well, like my comrade, cohort, and co-conspirator, I agree. I'm going with Carl. He is the big winner. Just when you thought he was down and out, he came out on top.
Carl Hamburger has been voted Insufferable Bastard Dabbler of the Week. Congratulations, Carl. I hope it means something for you. Also, hey, what do you guys think about Carl saying our marketing sucks, that our whole brand sucks?
He's right.
He is right. Yeah, I was kind of like, I was angry at him, but I will say at the end of that, and then we'll call it a day. At the end of his SJ interview, when Carl was just reading super chats, a la Kevin Brennan. Yes, he stole Kevin Brennan's bit, but to see how you could see in his face, in his eyes, the way he was carrying himself, how exhausted he was, how much work he obviously put into that interview, how important it was to him, not to be a Piazza, but I thought that was commendable, and the guy really did a great job. So I guess we'll end with the plugs. El Harible, where can people see you tomorrow? I mean, you have double the audience of me. This is always kind of awkward, but go ahead.
Oh, no, not at all. Everyone can see everything at Be Dabblin Live. There is no G. Again, I'm horrible at marketing, just like Carl said. Yeah, you can get everything on there. We do a show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Chuki will be on WATP tomorrow, live at 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
I like how you don't mention that before your vote, but whatever. Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations.
No, my vote is completely
Oh wait, that's
biased.
Tukey. That's not you. I forgot.
Yeah,
So
fuck
no
Tukey.
conflict of interest. Okay.
No,
sorry.
I hate Tukey. But yeah, Tukey will be on WATP tomorrow, live after our show. And then Tukey Soup, I am aiming at 10 p.m. Sunday night for the first episode of Tukey Soup. Tukey will be hosting a soup type show with very quick clips of all your favorite or least favorite shows from all of this and beyond. We're going to try and go outside of all this shit, but it's going to be a more like just joke oriented. It's just going to be Tukey. OJ will be there as like like how the soup had producers behind the scenes and you would just hear their voice. We're going to try and do something like that.
Like Gelman on with Regis. OJ's your
100%.
Gelman.
But there will be no guests. No Cardiff Electric. I know a lot of people are happy about that.
Oh.
And so check that out Sunday night. Hopefully, there is a chance I might have to postpone, but I made a show, I made a broadcast, so this way I feel committed and I don't want to let everyone down, but I also want this to really be good. So we'll see.
Good, man, and congratulations. I've spoken to you on and offline and in various porn chats, but I love you. El Harible is a good guy, and
Thank
please
you.
support
I
him.
love you, Carlos, and
Despite
Spears.
Yeah, Spears is
and OJ.
Oh, who? Oh, yeah, OJ. Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I got nothing. Saturday mornings, Be Dabbler, YouTube, 10 o'clock.
Spears,
Eastern.
you got any new movies coming out?
Keep an eye out for this movie called Blackout. It's a Glass Eye Picks movie. It's in festivals. It's a Wolfman movie. Old
Oh,
school
you working on a werewolf movie, but Stuttering John is live right now, you hack. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Is that him being a scab? Are you allowed to live stream during all this?
Who, John or Brian?
Oh,
He's not, as long as he doesn't promote
that's right.
something new, he's totally fine. And John
Okay.
doesn't talk about anything new because he's got nothing going on.
Fantastic.
All right, peace out, everybody. Thank you so much.